Yo, what's up guys? I'm back here with another video. This time I am going to talk about a great movie from 1995 brought to you from Universal Pictures, and this is none other than Sudden Death right here with one of my all-time favorite action stars, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Great action star from mostly the late 80s, early 90s. But this movie came out in 1995. I believe is one of his very last great action films. Even though he's still doing action movies, but they're still good, but they're not like as good as they were once. Especially from, I believe, from 87 to like about 94, 95. That was Jean Claude Van Damme's years, best years, and definitely Sudden Death is a badass movie. It doesn't get enough praise. A lot of people shit on it. I don't know why. I think it has a pretty good script and it has pretty good acting. With Jean Claude Van Damme, you're always gonna get that weird accent that he's European. I think he's from Belgium. So he has that weird accent. But other than that, he's excellent in this film. He takes the role of a guy named Darren McCord, and at the beginning of the movie he's a firefighter, but then something happens that he's trapped in the building and there's fire all over, and then he's there with a little girl, and then the building collapses and he's asking for help. They finally go and help him when they remove all the stuff from that's on him. He's there with the girl, but the little girl's dead, and then all of a sudden it fast forwards, I think maybe like 2 or 4 years. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 4 years after. And then he's not a firefighter anymore. He's just like a fire inspector, working for the arena where the Pittsburgh Penguins play. And it's cool because they show that he's a father of two kids, and he's obviously divorced, and he gets his daughter and his son to go to the game with him, to go see the Stanley Cup Finals. I believe it was Game 7, so it was the last game between the Penguins, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Chicago Blackhawks. And so it's basically a hockey action movie. So there's a lot of hockey involved and stuff, and it's pretty much Die Hard. Like, a lot of people compare it to Die Hard. They call it a Die Hard ripoff, and that's pretty much what it is. A group of bad guys. They make their way inside the arena in a very clever way. I'm not gonna say how, but they make it really smooth, and then they get into the arena, and then they go into the vice president's box, which, by the way, the vice president is also there. So they're kidnapping the vice president. They're kidnapping his kids. They're putting explosives all over the hockey arena here, and it's a very important game. It's the finals of the Stanley Cup, and Jean-Claude Van Damme here has to pretty much save the day for the vice president, for everybody in the arena, for his kids, for himself, for everybody. So he goes around making, like, he makes his own gun, he makes his own booby traps. He also detonates a bunch of explosives around the arena and stuff. And it's just nonstop action from start to finish. It doesn't stop, and to me it's phenomenal. It's really good. It had me at the edge of the seat the whole time. It doesn't stop. It's like it just keeps on going and going. There's a lot of good fighting scenes. It's gruesome. There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of shooting. There's a lot of intense moments. The bad guy was awesome. His name was Powers Booth. That's the bad guy's name. Which I was also reading that James Woods was supposed to play that part, but something happened that he turned it down, I think, and he went off to go film Nixon. Also, a lot of people played for the part of Darren McCord here. Also was Arnold Schwarzenegger was gonna do it, but he was too busy doing Junior. He was doing Junior, and he was also doing True Lies in 94, 95. Also Sylvester Stallone, but Sylvester Stallone read the script and said it wasn't good enough for him, so I guess he didn't bother. And then Bruce Willis was another one that was supposed to do this, but he was all tied up with Die Hard with a Vengeance at that time. So the director, which is Peter Haim, called up Jean-Claude Van Damme, which they actually had worked together in 1994. So a year before this, they did Time Cop, which Time Cop was another great film from Jean-Claude Van Damme. So they make a pretty good team, and this movie was phenomenal. Supposedly, like it was supposed to be like a comedy, like the original script and the original idea of the movie was supposed to be a comedy, and it just turned out to be like a serious, straight up action movie. The only scene that they kept that was the comedic scene was when Jean-Claude Van Damme's character starts fighting against the mascot. And that was the only comedy part that actually stayed in the film. And I was also reading that in 2022 or 2020, I'm not sure, they kept that script and then they remade this movie. It's called Welcome to Sudden Death, and it was a comedy movie, but I heard it sucked. I heard it was terrible. Also, initially, this movie, Sudden Death, also had a sequel planned for a 1997 release, so 2 years after this, but it didn't get done because it sold poorly. It didn't do well. It had a lot of competition. It had Die Hard with a Vengeance. It had True Lies. It had a bunch of great films that came out that year, 1995, and Sudden Death. It was a blockbuster hit, but it didn't sell as much as Universal Pictures wanted it to sell. This is a rated R movie. Again, it's very gory, very crazy, and it's a long movie. It's an hour and 51 minutes, so it's almost 2 hours long. And it was just, I thought it was very entertaining. I thought it was very, very good. Character development with the bad guys were great. We actually cared about the vice president and the people that he had in his box. And, it was funny at times. It had some pretty good comedy stuff. It was great. It was great. I really enjoyed this. And I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's one of my favorite action movies from 1995. It's not a hidden gem. I think a lot of people have heard of it, but it's definitely a very good movie that a lot of people don't talk about. I know Kino Lorber released it. This is not the Kino edition. The Kino Lorber edition is probably I think it was like $24, but they only have the 4K. This is only the Blu-ray, and this one only cost me like $12 on Amazon. There's nothing fancy to it. It's just the Sudden Death, a black disc that says Sudden Death on it. But yeah, man, definitely 8.5 out of 10. It was a great movie, great film. I really enjoyed this. Give it 2 thumbs up. It was really, really good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. That's the back right there. Jean-Claude Van Damme, fucking badass. Special features, I'm not sure what kind of special features it has. I know it has something, but it doesn't even say it here, so I don't know. I don't even know if it has special features. But yeah, man, I definitely recommend this. Probably one of the last Jean-Claude Van Damme classics. I think Knockoff was another one that came after this. It was another pretty good movie. But this Sudden Death was 8.5 out of 10. I highly recommend it if you've never seen it. It gets a lot of praise from me. And I think you guys will enjoy it. So go and check it out if you can. Sudden Death. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Gotta go to sleep. It's late.